When The Mandalorian and Grogu was first announced, the Star Wars fandom practically vibrated with speculation. Not because we didn't expect the duo to return to the screen, of course we did, but because this was billed as the cinematic culmination of the Mandoverse. Years of storytelling, multiple shows, overlapping plot lines, all supposedly converging into one theatrical event. And now, with early leaks, industry whispers, and that first teaser footage floating around, the question becomes unavoidable. Is this movie hiding a deeper, game changing storyline, or are we simply getting another chapter in the Mandalorian timeline? Let's break it down. On the surface, the trailer gives us exactly what we expect. Din Djarin, armored up, Grogu at his side, blaster fire, jetpacks, new planets, hints of danger. It's familiar. It's safe. It's the Mandalorian flavor that made the series a hit. But the silence is deafening in a way only Star Wars marketing can achieve. No major villains highlighted, no clear plot direction, no immediate big bad to latch onto, like Moff Gideon in seasons past. When trailers intentionally avoid telling you the story, they're usually hiding one. And Lucasfilm knows the value of secrecy. After The Empire Strikes Back, The Force Awakens, and The Mandalorian's own surprise Luke Skywalker moment. So the absence of reveals might be a reveal in itself. The ending of Ahsoka left us with a very clear setup. Grand Admiral Thrawn is back, rebuilding Imperial strength in the shadows, and Dave Filoni, who is heavily involved with this film, rarely drops threads he doesn't plan to pull later. So could Thrawn be the secret antagonist? Absolutely. Even if he doesn't appear physically, the movie might lean heavily into the threat he represents. Mercenaries, warlords, Imperial remnants, all could be acting under his direction or reacting to his growing power. If Lucasfilm wants to tie the film into the broader Mandoverse plot, Thrawn is the obvious gravitational center. Ignoring him would almost be stranger than including him. Now, on to Ahsoka Tano. Her series ended with major unfinished business. Sabine and Ahsoka stranded in another galaxy, Thrawn returning without them, and whispers of a prophecy regarding her apprentice. If Ahsoka appears, even briefly, it would cement this movie as the connective tissue binding all these plot lines together. It would also signal that Lucasfilm is serious about this being bigger than a standalone Mando adventure. But even if she doesn't show up in person, the ripples of her story could appear. References to Peridia, rumors of a returning Jedi, hints that Thrawn's rise is linked to something older, darker, and more mystical. Ahsoka's storyline is mythic, and mythic storylines often echo even when the characters don't appear. We cannot talk about Mandalorian era surprises without acknowledging the seismic impact Luke Skywalker had when he returned in season 2. Would Lucasfilm bring him back again? It depends. Luke is a nuclear cameo, used sparingly and only when the emotional stakes justify it. But if Grogu's future and future direction is part of this film's core arc, Luke may appear as a guidepost or as a reference point. After all, Grogu walked away from the Jedi training to remain with Din. That decision could have major consequences. A brief Luke appearance? Totally possible. Luke as a major character? Very unlikely. Unless the movie reveals Grogu's future is more intertwined with the Force than we've been led to believe. And that would require some Luke and something like Luke to contextualize. What about Boba Fett as a wild card? Boba Fett's appearance in The Mandalorian Season 2 and his own spin off suggest his story isn't finished. If the movie needs muscle, street level allies, or underworld tension, Boba Fett is the perfect addition. His presence would appeal to longtime fans and help expand Tatooine's ongoing storyline. There's also the possibility that the Hutts re enter the picture. Boba has to defend his territory. A new syndicate challenges his reign. Remember, Star Wars has always balanced Jedi mysticism with underworld grime. Boba is a bridge between those worlds. The final sparks before the flame could be Imperial Remnants. The Imperial Remnant is fractured but dangerous. Gideon may be gone, but command structures don't vanish overnight. We could see warlords, lost battalions, secret cloning projects, and dark science remnants. And all of this leads back to Thrawn's effort to unite the broken pieces of the Empire. If the movie wants to align with Filoni's future heir to the Empire style buildup, the remnants must be involved. What about bounty hunters? Now, for fun speculation, rogue bounty hunters. A cinematic Mandalorian story practically begs for iconic scum and villainy. So imagine Bossk emerging from the shadows, Dengar resurfacing, new mercenaries hunting Grogu, a guild war erupting. The trailer already hints at urban criminal environments, and no one capitalizes on criminal chaos like the bounty hunter underworld. If Lucasfilm wants to crowd please and world build, this is the move. But does this movie add to the lore, or is it just a placeholder? This is the central question. The Mandoverse was sold to us as an interconnected story culminating in a movie or a trilogy. So if The Mandalorian and Grogu doesn't push the overarching plot forward, fans will feel like it missed the point. But here's the encouraging part. Filoni is involved. Ahsoka's Thrawn arc is unfinished. Mando's story has circled the same thematic ground for a while, and a movie is a perfect place to evolve it. Grogu's growth demands a bigger canvas. If Lucasfilm truly wants this to be the launch pad for a larger Mandalorian era saga, this movie has to add to the lore, and all signs, even the quiet ones, suggest that's the plan. So, secret storyline or just another entry? Right now, the signs point towards a secret, deeper storyline. Not because of what Lucasfilm has shown, but because of what they haven't. No villain revealed, no plot summary given, no clear direction. When the surface is this calm, the depths are usually where the real story lives. Whether it involves Thrawn consolidating power, Ahsoka's extra dimensional conflict, Luke's influence on Grogu, new underworld threats, Imperial remnants regrouping, or a legendary bounty hunter returning to claim glory, this movie is poised to be more than a side quest. It's the turning point, the crossroads, the moment the Mandoverse finally becomes a unified theatrical story. And if they're hiding surprises, and let's be honest, they are, it means something big is coming. This isn't just another chapter. This is the hinge on which the next era of Star Wars might swing.